It is a big job to tackle the business of the state, but state lawmakers are here in the state capitol to do exactly that. Hello, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver, and we are here in the halls of the state capitol. And joining me now is Speaker of the House, Mark Ferrandino. Thanks so much for being with us, Mr. Speaker.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's talk about your priorities. Obviously, you know, the session starts, you kind of have an agenda, you know what the big priorities are. What are you viewing as the things that really have to be accomplished this year?
The most important thing this last year, we were impacted by biblical floods and the largest wildfire in our state's history, in the Black Forest Fire, and other fires across this state. And so recovery is number one. And when you look at the first bills we introduced in the House, those are around helping those impacted by the floods. For example, people who had properties that were damaged, and some who the river swept away their properties, make sure that they don't have to pay property taxes on property that doesn't exist anymore, and helping to make sure that as we deal with fires, that we're preparing for them, that we have the resources, we know how to do the mitigation in those communities, give incentives for people to do mitigation. You know, that's number one. Because those people are suffering, we need to help them. Then, you know, the economy is our next priority, and job creation. Now, we have seen Colorado go from 40th in job creation to 4th in job creation. Since I took over for Speaker, we're over 1 percentage point down right now to roughly 6.2% in unemployment, but that's not enough. There are still so many people, especially long-term unemployed, who need jobs. And so we're focused on skills training, on making sure that higher ed is affordable so that people can go back to school to get the skills they need, and also making sure we're giving incentives for homegrown companies to be able to grow and hire more people here in Colorado. And then the last thing is education. As a kid who was the son of 2 educators, I know that education is a great equalizer. And we have to make sure every kid, regardless of zip code, regardless of where they were born, they have the opportunity to have a world-class education, because we know to compete for the jobs of the future, people need to be able to graduate high school and get into higher education, and that will make us a much stronger economy and a more stable economy. Right. So we're really focused on making sure that kids have the resources in the classroom to get them through into higher education.
Right, and through college too.
Yes.
I know that's a big focus. I know there's been an increase in the state budget. Obviously, more revenue coming in is always a good thing. Even when we talk about an issue like the legalization of recreational marijuana, that's something that's going to bring more money. Do you kind of see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel? I know it's been some very lean years.
Yeah, we've had some significant cuts throughout our budget during the recession, and I actually served on the budget committee during those times. But it's nice that we're seeing our revenue rebound. With the unemployment rate dropping, more people are employed, which means more revenue into the state coffers. That allows us to restore some of the funding. We're not going to be back to where we were pre-recession. K-12, we are $1 billion from where we should be in terms of funding, but we can make a step in the right direction to put that money into education. Higher education, we are going to put $100 million into our higher education budget, the biggest increase in recent state history, and also cap tuition at 6%, because higher education is becoming unaffordable with how high tuition has been going. So, you know, making those strategic investments throughout state government are going to help, you know, give people the opportunities they need.
Right, definitely. And you, as Speaker of the House, and all the representatives and senators here really have to hear the voice from the people outside of this building, right? Oh yeah,
and you know, we really, unlike Washington, D.C., we down here work really well together. 94% of the bills last year that passed through this legislature passed with bipartisan support. Right. And we're continuing to work on that.
Good record. All right, Speaker of the House, Mark Ferrandino, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Beverly Weaver.